All right, so let's say you're walking down the street and someone stops you and offers you a dollar, right? We've all seen these videos, right? When people stop people on the street and they offer them a dollar or $5 to like answer a question or maybe do something or like these trivia type of questions, right? So if somebody stops you on the street and offers you a dollar, since the value of what they are offering you is so low, right? Because you understand that it only costs them a dollar to offer you a dollar, you're probably going to be very comfortable taking that dollar and continuing on with your day. Now, say that that person, instead of offering you a dollar, they offer you a brand new Ferrari. So you're walking down the street, someone stops you, dangles, keys in front of you and says, "Hey, you see this Ferrari right here? This is yours. You can have it." Right? As much as I know that you would like to think that you would just take these keys and you sit in the car and you would drive off to the sunset, you probably won't. The reason why you won't do that is because the value of what they're offering you is so high, right? It's a brand new Ferrari that you can't help but feel that you haven't deserved it. You can't help but feel that you haven't earned that gift. Your brain is automatically going to try to find something wrong with this whole picture. What's wrong with this person? Is he crazy? Is she crazy? Did they steal that car? Am I going to get in trouble if I do take that car? Is this some sort of a prank and they're going to laugh at my expense? Is there like a camera hidden somewhere? You're gonna start looking around at people and try to feel out their reactions, right? Is this a joke? Is somebody playing a joke? Is there something wrong with the car maybe, right? Is the car not safe? Is the car going to blow up? Is the car not going to start and they're going to laugh at me? Is there like a maybe a switch up and they're going to switch a car last minute, right? Or is it a play on words that is going to try to trick me? So at this point, you might be wondering, why am I telling you this story? Why am I telling you all this? And how does that relate to the title of today's video? Right? So if you want to know, and I get this question a lot from women especially, right? Do men prefer it if women adopt a more aggressive, a more straightforward, approach to asking men out, or do men prefer it if you play a little bit more hard to get? And the advice that I'm going to give you, right, is going to be as applicable to men as it is to women. I really don't think that it's a gender thing. I really don't think that it's, men prefer a certain thing or women prefer a certain thing, right? The example that I just given you, right, when you're walking down the street, as well as the advice that I'm just about to give you, is as applicable to men as it is to women. So when it comes to dating, it's the exact same situation like in the story that I just described when you're walking down the street. When someone offers you something of low value, right? So let's say that, as a man, you were sitting in a bar and a girl comes straight forward to you and be like, "Hey, I think that you're really attractive. I would love to spend the night with you." 9 times out of 10, the guy's going to have his shirt off before you even finish that sentence. Again, because the value of what you are offering him is low, right? Because you are only offering him sex for that one night, right? You're only offering that time that you're going to spend with him that same evening and only connect physically, right? You're not talking about emotional connection. You're not talking about taking the time to get to know one another. You're not talking about a relationship. You're not talking about anything that would require both of you to invest, a substantial amount of time, a substantial amount of effort, a substantial amount of energy. You're basically just talking about, hooking up after the bar. Since the value of what you are offering him is so low, right? He's just going to take it, just like you would take that $1 bill. You wouldn't think twice about it. You're like, "Oh, okay, well, this is, they're offering, you know what I mean, a good night. I'm going to take it." Right? And they're going to say yes. And men are going to be like very, very happy with the fact that you're going to do that, right? It's going to save them a lot of work. And if you ask most men, they're going to tell you, "Oh, I love a woman who is very straightforward in that sense." But say that at the same bar, the same girl approached the same guy, but instead of offering him an evening of fun, she said, "Hey, you know what? I was looking at you and I really like you and I would really love you for you to be my boyfriend. I would love to date you." It's not because he's not looking for a relationship in principle. It's because he's not ready for that with you. It's because the value of what you are offering him is so big, right? You are offering him not only a one night of fun, you're offering him a relationship. That's a huge time investment, an energy investment. You're investing your body, all of these things, right? Since the value of what you're offering him is so large, he's automatically going to think that there's something wrong with this picture. He's going to start asking himself automatically, what is wrong with this girl? First of all, he's going to start thinking some of the same things. Is some sort of a prank? What is this? I've never gotten this before. Like, just like you've never been offered a Ferrari before, you know what I mean? You probably haven't been offered, a relationship right off the bat before you actually feel like you earn that conversation, before you feel like you deserve the conversation, because you have taken the time to get to know one another. So if it comes out of the blue, right? He's going to start thinking, is this some sort of a prank? Did she lose a bet right now and this is like what she's doing? Or he's going to think that, hey, is she like crazy? Why is she so desperate? What is wrong with that girl? Automatically. And you would, if we reverse that situation, right? And we reverse the genders in this situation, you would feel the exact same way. I'm sure that you'd be more than happy as a woman to hear that a guy would approach you and be like, hey, and start a conversation with you about something, right? I really like your shoes, and start a conversation. What do you do? Where are you going? All of that stuff, right? You appreciate that straightforward. You appreciate that approach, but you would be very turned off if he just came up to you and be like, hey, oh my God, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. Marry me. Even if the guy is good looking and even if he looks like he's successful, all of these things, you would still automatically start thinking, what is wrong with this guy? Why is he so desperate? Both men and women appreciate someone who can be confident enough within themselves to approach the other person and start a conversation without any sort of outcome, without admitting how they feel or any sort of declarations of love, but being able to just come up to someone and start a conversation. Start a conversation about the weather, or maybe depending on the environment of where you're in. If you're at a soccer game, if you're at a sporting event, if you're at a bar, or wherever you are, start a conversation that is kind of organic to where you guys are at that very specific moment. I think both men and women really do appreciate that the other person can just build up that confidence and be able just to start a conversation with no romantic connotation at this point, right? But I think that both men and women, when you are offering way more than the other person feels like they deserve at that point, any sort of declaration of love, any sort of declaration that they want to really date you and they're in love with you and they want all those things, right? As much as these things tend to work in romantic comedies, that's not real life, right? You would automatically start thinking, what's wrong with the situation? It's off putting and it's a huge turnoff because you automatically start thinking, what is wrong with that person? There's a huge difference between being direct and confident and appearing desperate. Hopefully that helps, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.